hands. The jazz hands are going. There goes my jazz hands. There goes Walter's jazz hands. Clover Tack, you guys can't see it, but he's doing jazz hands with his hands and his feet right now.
I promise.
Yeah, we are live. We are live. This is episode 204 of the Who Moved My Freedom podcast, coming to you live from Gainesville, Florida, the Strange Media Studios. That's what I know. People are like, man, the wall's all boring. There's nothing going on back there. But we are currently under construction, my friends.
Yep.
Newly moved into this spot. So we're still working on it. And it's Thursday. We've got, as I said before, we've got Clover Tack with us. There he goes. And I think you're having some camera problems tonight, right?
I am. Yeah. So hopefully I can get it figured out later on this afternoon.
You guys don't get to see all the beautifulness. There's men and women alike swooning and fainting when we show Clover Tack. So
that's true. That's true. The viewership's going to drop. I apologize.
I know, man. Come on. We need it. We need it right now. And he might be naked for all we know.
Hey, I'll never admit to
that. We also have my partner in crime, right? Here he goes. Walter Keller wearing the salmon pink shirt today.
Again,
feeling sexy.
Yeah.
He's in Miami Vice mode. I think he had a shower and everything.
Speaking of, I got home first thing. I got back from the shop. I did bring a couple guns home with me though.
Oh boy, what are these?
Well, one is the Mossberg Shockwave.
Yeah, the Shockwave, right.
And the other one is basically my version of a TAC 14.
Okay.
So I took a pistol grip from the factory Mossberg 870 and basically shortened the barrel to 14, then put the Shockwave grip on it, and it's the same thing.
Interesting.
So you don't the pistol grip from the factory shotguns are basically the same status as a Shockwave. They just have a longer barrel and a shorter pistol grip. So.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. So are we going to call this the Hank?
The Spank. Yeah.
The Spank. I like that.
The Spank.
Yeah, the Spank. Okay. Very cool. Are you planning on shooting those this weekend? What's going on there?
No, I just brought them home to have some Gorn. I mean.
Oh, nice. Okay,
well, I mean,
cool.
If I show up at 9 o'clock in the morning at your house and you hear shotguns going off, then we're shooting them.
Yeah, well, okay. Won't be the first time.
God damn, he's early again.
Yeah, won't be the first time.
Yeah.
So, all right. I hope you guys are doing well out there. Let me shout out the folks in the chat because we've been remiss, to say the least, in shouting out everyone in the chat. So please, everyone watching right now, please give us the thumbs ups, okay? Because we need those. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, Lifestyles of the Locked and Loaded. That's where we go live here. So hit the hit the thumbs up, subscribe. Make sure you click that notification bell. I think we have to do that all over again here. So we've got to get out there and tell the people about that. I hope you guys are enjoying these shows. Bear in mind that Lola and I will be off for a week. So we're gonna do tonight and we're gonna do tomorrow, Lola. Okay, Lola's giving me faces.
I noticed something. I noticed something today. I'm not getting notifications for comments, which is really annoying.
Oh, they're really doing a number on us, man. I could tell. I could look and see what's going on. It's pretty serious what they're doing. And the more I talk, I mean, you've noticed that, right? Your audience and everything, or like the views and everything dropping off.
Yeah, I mean, to an extent, yeah. That's been happening for probably a year though, or longer, just gradually.
Yeah. There's something that happened in the last few months that's really drastic. It's a weird kind of thing. And we had 13C Joe on last night, 13C Gun Reviews. And he said the same thing that I was thinking. The old videos my channel's not getting less views and stuff, and people are subscribing, and, we're putting up content all the time.
Yeah, it's crazy. Some of the first videos that I ever put up are still consistently getting views. They consistently get comments. There's all kinds of engagement, but in talking about produced stuff, not necessarily live stream, but to produce stuff, the newer stuff, it just doesn't break through. So it's almost like they have something throttled, right?
Yeah, I think so. I'm pretty sure that's exactly what's going on. And it probably has to do with the fact that it's new content and they can attach things to it where it'd be more difficult to do it with the older things because they supposedly already looked at those and did this thing. And of course, when we put up, like every time I put up anything, we're taking out snippets from Chuck Woolery coming on and throwing it up. And every single snippet is like, yeah, up for review. What did we do? We didn't even show that many guns.
I went through, you know, back what they call D-Day, back when you had to get the hit the 1,000 sub threshold or whatever it was in order to be eligible for the partner program. And if you didn't, then they pulled you from it. From that point up until about, I guess it was 3 weeks ago, maybe a month ago, I had absolutely zero ad restricted videos, zero from that point. It's like it completely died out. And I thought, okay, well, cool. They got rid of all the crap, you know, cat video channels, stupid stuff, right? With that program. So then now they're able to more efficiently curate the content. But yeah, over the last 3 weeks, maybe month, I've seen those, you know, ad review stuff, ad restricted, I should say, the ad restricted icon come back here and there on a few things. So yeah, who knows? Yeah.
We're not experts on what the hell they're doing at all, but it's pretty obvious that they're up to something. Okay, let me jump in here and shout out everyone in the chat, and because you know these folks, these are the hardcore people right here hanging in with us every day. So Tank is number one. He says, "What's up?" We haven't seen him in a couple of days. He's kind of like a secret agent. Sometimes he leaves the country. He has to go off on missions. For all we know, right, Walter?
Oh,
okay, that's Walter's response right there. The international sign of a shotgun. Yeah. So Tank's there. I see Richard Hughes as well in the shout out. Richard Hughes says he's number one that shot at the hacienda. That's like his whole, you know, he's gonna make business cards or something that says he says he's number one that shot on the hacienda. That's his claim. He's claiming that. Oh, you gotta let him claim something. Okay. He's number one that shot at the hacienda and has his own parrot.
Exactly.
Yeah, there you go.
The parrot. Okay.
Yeah. The Tyven Show is also in. Tyven Show says, hello on third. Who's on third?
50 cal. Walter, 50 cal donut killer in the house. I like that.
50 cal. Were you doing something I don't know about with donuts?
I'm always saying I'm making the donuts. You know?
Oh, I see. Okay, I see. You should make your own line of gunpowder flavored donuts, Walter.
Gunpowder sprinkles.
Yeah.
That's easy to do, actually.
Is that FDA approved?
Yeah. It could be done. I'm telling you. Make it. You know what you do? I mean, it's not real gunpowder. Just make it liquor. Are there licorice sprinkles?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There's chocolate sprinkles. I know that for a fact.
They got to be kind of a gray color, you know, so it looks like 50 caliber powder, which some of it is that looks like sprinkles.
Yeah. This can be done. I heard, and I don't know how true this is. Someone has to look it up. I heard that there was some kind of pickle flavored drink from one of these fast food places. It's doing a pickle flavor. Someone look that up and tell me in the chat what it is. But I'm pretty sure I heard about that.
Yeah, I seen that the other day too. Some kind of a pickle.
That's repulsive.
Who is that?
A pickled slushy, maybe from somewhere.
Yeah, someone's coming in, and I was like, what? I would rather. There's so many horrible things I would rather do.
Now my youngest daughter, you know, you'll have pickles in the fridge, right? And eat all the pickles or whatever. She will keep the juice. She'll drink it. So,
yeah.
She likes that. She likes that stuff. And it's good for you, but
yeah. Lola says there's pickle flavored chips. I could deal with that. That's not.
That's different.
Yeah. Pickle flavored vodka.
Sonic's new pickle juice slushy.
Yeah, Sonic. There you go. Like, what the hell? People are already not going to Sonic. I guess they just want more people to not go.
Right.
Yeah. Go do the pickle flavor challenge. So there's pickle flavored vodka. Pickle flavored ice cream, that's totally doesn't make any damn sense.
Well, if your wife's pregnant, that's 2 birds, 1 stone, right?
Yeah. Pickle flavored toothpaste. Okay, stupid. And this is probably the most disgusting one. Pickle flavored condoms. I got your pickle. I got your pickle flavor right here. Whatever. Oh boy.
If that's what I guess if that's what it takes to get the job done, I guess
Right.
Yeah. Like you said, maybe when the wife's pregnant and getting kind of attitudinal, you'd be like,
yeah,
babe, I got the pickle flavored condoms, damn it.
I already got the pickle, and look what happened.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of which, you guys remind me, I have, like, we're talking about flavors of things. I found some news. It's kind of like old news, but I found it, and regarding flavors. So remind me of that, and we'll come back to it. Let me try to get through the shout outs here. So Richard Hughes, Tyven Show, Tank, SoCal Gunner, Michael Bender as well. Let's see who else we got in here. Strange Media moderator Gerald Loafers says he's saying, shouting out people, saying what's up. We've also got Baz Bradford says good morning all from Perth, Australia.
Oh, good day, mate.
Yeah, good day. Throw another shrimp on the bar, babe.
Just give me a Foster's.
That's not that. That wasn't a good.
They drink Foster's down there for real.
No, that's like Chinese food stores.
Yeah, that's like Corona in Mexico. Corona's considered like one of the crappiest beers in Mexico, I think. So.
Yeah, Mexico, I think it's Dos Equis. Dos
Equis. Yeah, Dos Equis. That's all right.
That's the beer in Mexico, or at least when I was there. I don't know.
Yeah.
When I was in Cancun, it's Dos Equis. Let me see. I got to do a good Australian thing. That's not a knife. This is a knife.
Oh, wait a minute. That's not a knife. Wait a minute. Wait a second. Hold on a second. This is a knife. Bloody hell. Yeah.
It's just crooked. That's all that's wrong with that.
Well, yeah. That Indian fellow making it must have been on the juice or something.
Hey, hold on now. Hold on
a second. You're not 100%. Well, you got.
I resent that. Well, I was about to say, maybe it's like an Indian thing. The stuff's crooked. I don't know.
It says made in India, so I definitely know.
Because I kind of have that. Well, don't worry.
I know.
Yeah. I was gonna say something terribly inappropriate.
Your thing is crooked.
Yeah. Let's not get into it right now.
Okay.
We'll save that. We'll save that for later. I think it's kind of Lola is like giving me that look like it's a little early.
No.
It's a little early. The Archangel Armament and Axes also here. Let's see. This is all because Clover's here. That's why. Clover's a bad influence.
Blame me. Yeah.
He's a bad influence on the show. We were all perfect and innocent for the rest of the whole beginning of this week.
Yeah, it's all my fault. Your track record certainly reflects that.
Yeah. So shout out to Baz from Perth, Australia. That's very cool. I love it when there's people from all around the world. It's awesome, man. I want to see people from all over the world. I want to be internationally known and locally accepted.
And then when you show up at the airport down there, they turn you back.
Yeah. Like, no, not you. Not you.
Not you. You talk bad about us.
Not you, mate.
Not you, mate.
Have you ever seen that movie? Well, you've never seen any movies, Walter.
Yeah.
No. Do you remember Kangaroo Jack? I thought that was a funny movie. My kids loved that when they were younger. They loved that movie. I used to have to watch Kangaroo Jack like 10 times in one day.
Yeah.
They love that movie so much. Don't ask me why.
How about Samurai Jack on Cartoon Network?
I'm a huge Samurai Jack fan.
I like Samurai Jack. See,
that was an awesome cartoon, and I think they brought
it
back.
It has came back. Yeah.
I just don't have any kind of cable.
Cableage.
Yeah. No, I don't have that, so I'm waiting for it. When it gets to Netflix, I'll be all about it. Let's see who else is here. Trying to go through and see who's in the hangout. Don't forget to hit the thumbs ups, by the way. I think I shouted out Mike Bryant. I see Hamburger Helper as well. Shout out to him. And
Sergeant Poppy.
Sergeant Poppy. Okay, DCG 44 says hi all. So Mike Bryant, I don't know where I'm just going to read this. I'm not even reading the whole thing. I don't know where this conversation is coming from, but he says, true story. 10 years old, taking the shortcut behind the old Sears in downtown Renton. Gang of jerks rode out of the back road, to their neighborhood, had me in a half Nelson and demanded my money.
Really?
Yeah. And then Michael Bender says, was David Hogg one of them?
Hey, I want to see the cute blonde chick the college girl wrestle or arm wrestle David Hogg, that little wiener. You know.
Which wait, what?
You remember that? Remember a couple days ago there was that blonde girl that it was she was in college or she was graduating or something like that, and she was walking through the campus with her AR.
Oh, with the rifle. Oh yeah.
And then you know David Hogg like yeah, you know, and then she goes, "Come on, let's arm wrestle for the Second Amendment." He's like,
oh, she would kick his ass.
he's like a freaking stick. You know, he's like a freaking matchstick. You know?
What's is a purple nurple when you twist the nipples?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Is that what it? Okay. Yeah. Purple nurple him. It'll be fine.
Just blow on him. Just give him a good. Well, not blow on him. I don't want.
Yeah, exactly, Walter.
That I don't think that David Hogg dude does girls. I don't think so.
Oh yeah.
He kind of looks a little, you know.
That's what I hear. That's what I hear through the Twitters, anyway.
Through the Twitters, yeah.
Oh, the Twitters, because they know everything.
If I read it on Twitter, it's got to be real.
Yeah, exactly. STL Stormtrooper as well. Shout out to him. Let's see who else we got in here. Richard Harper says, "Okay, I made it. Time to go ahead and start. I'm here." Okay,
start the show.
Boss Hog is also in. Shout out to Boss Hog. Let's see who else we got. Trying to go through this. Chris Bullis is in here as well. He says, "Hey dudes," and let's see. I think I said the Tyven Show, but shout out to the Tyven Show again. Liberty Life is in as well. Gorillas and Guns says, "What up, party people?" Did we get the Glock for Mike Bryant? Did we?
I thought that happened, didn't it?
Yeah, because I think we went on vacation right after that, so I have no idea what's going on with that.
Yeah, they were talking about
it. We took a week off. Exactly, Lola's right.
They were talking about it on last weekend on
when
Tyven was in charge of things. I think they got it successfully and everything.
Oh, awesome. Okay, someone tag me on social media or something like that. You know, if you guys get around to it, or someone probably already tagged me and I just haven't. You know. I'm getting too many tags or something like that. Greg98K is also in as well. Sometimes you got to tag me over and over again. Jackson Oldman says, just ordered my silencer to accentuate the beauty of that Hank Strange dream gun. Oh, awesome. So that's the STD. That's the STD out there. You know, I'd love to share some pictures with us on that. Let us know what kind of silencer you're getting as well. Brian Quick is in as well. Shout out to Brian Quick. Tacos and French fries says good evening. John Gillian is here. And
you know what, Hank?
What?
Two-fisted.
Okay.
Or, we got to do the
dual
wielding 12-gauge shotgun.
Yeah, but do you know how to work the pump action on the dual? Because you got to like pull the trigger, then you got to drop it down enough to the pump action, and then do one of these numbers. Well, and then I don't know how you get back to the trigger.
Mossberg got this guy, so you can shoot it, and you can do that with it.
Yeah. Oh, so you could just hold your hand on it.
The Remington donut at this point, so I'd have to modify her a little bit.
So you can't do what I call the masturbate move. You can't do that move.
Let's see. Oh yeah!
There you go. Well, that's how you do world. I suggest lots of practice. Dry fire and other such is probably best left to the professionals.
Otherwise, there will be a viral YouTube video in your future
of an accidental discharge.
Yeah. It's like, have you guys seen? There's a video of a dude. I think that something he was doing with a shotgun, and he had an accidental discharge into the ground. It blew up.
Black dude.
Yes, black guy.
Yeah. He was gangstering or something, Boom!
Yeah, I don't know who actually. Do not put out these embarrassing videos of you mishandling guns. It's not good. It's not a good look.
I don't like those. I really don't. There's a bunch of them out there with the goofy things with rifles and pistols kicking up and hitting people in the face and them dropping them, and I don't know. I'm just not a fan of those. I don't think those are good for the community.
Yeah, but somebody enjoys it.
I hate to say, I laugh my ass off at some. I mean, they come at what's going to happen. Here's a big ass 44 Magnum, and he's holding it. He thinks he's gonna trick the recoil by holding it kind of light, and and it's like, then they act surprised.
So,
You know? It's like, what the fuck?
So what are you saying, Clover? Should we do some outreach? Should we get the gangsters? Should we get them some like gun safety? You know, this is why we have Maj Touré. That's why we have Black Guns Matter.
I didn't say I didn't want them out there.
No, I know. I'm just making
that. I'm not going that far with it.
I'm just making a joke.
Everything we go through, you can't be hypocritical, right?
No, I think listen. I think that people those kinds of things can go really bad, and I think that this is how sometimes we make people afraid of things. You know, that when I meet people and I'm trying to show them guns, and even though I go through a whole process of showing them that gun is safe, they're afraid of it because they see that. And the problem that we have, we'll never get. I don't put stuff like that out there. The problem that we'll have is that we'll never get rid of it. People will keep looking at it, and it'll keep scaring people because they think something like that's going to happen or worse.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
so,
yeah. And what's weird is most people will pick up on that because it gets a lot of views at trends or whatever, you know, whatever happens because people find it funny. And then they won't take the time to actually go and research, you know, people that know proper shooting technique and form and are doing it safely, and goofy things like that don't happen, right? So you're right. They live their life afraid that that's the norm when you're firing a gun.
Yeah, and we all do stupid things, by the way. I'm just gonna say.
Yeah.
We all do stupid things.
Well, I'm glad that's two of us is all I got.
Yeah. We all do stupid things, but we have to put these kinds of practices in place so that people don't get hurt. You know, because there are, like, if you guys saw that that video with, I think there were like 3 people. It was 2 men and a woman in the car. And then the woman, she's like going gangster and she takes the gun from the guy and shoots him in the head.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that was, I mean, insane. And then they just run away and leave him. You know, they just run away and leave this guy that she just shot in the head and all that. I think that guy survived, right? I don't know if you saw that, Walter. It was also.
I haven't seen that. There are ones that I start to watch and I turn it off because I don't want to see it.
Yeah, I don't like seeing that stuff, but I don't
need that image in my head. I've seen people shot. I've seen other videos where people get their head blown off. I don't need to see that stuff.
Yeah, I kept trying to. That was big news for a while, several weeks ago, and I just kept trying to avoid it, and then eventually somehow I ran into it, and I was like, "Wow, this is crazy." So, you know, gun safety, please.
Yeah,
very important.
Don't be an ambassador of gun misuse.
Yeah. Yeah, you really want to be careful. So let's see. So Tina is Liberty Cats. I see Tina is Liberty Cat as well here. I'm trying to go through and make sure I'm shouting out everyone, not missing anyone. Screaming Skull Saloon, EOM Productions, Special K, Emmanuel Goldstein, Big Cliff, Warsaw Patriot as well. I carry my revolver in single action.
Big Dick Willie out there yet?
Enrique Q. No, I don't see him. I don't know if Big Dick Willie is in here. I'm trying to. I saw that there were some other women, but the scroll is going. I want to make sure I shout out the ladies out there. Opt Out of Gun Control is in. MW Tactical as well. Let's see. I'm trying to. Cyrus 308 also here, and EJ Bugnier. Shout out to EJ. Vanessa Kitty. Shout out to Vanessa Kitty. We Run Guns. Steve Lemieux. Let's see. And oh, so wait, Jackson. Okay, he says this. He's talking about the Stag 308. Jackson Oldman. That's right. I mean, we've given away so many guns, I forget. The Stag 308, and he says he ordered a Silencer Co. Omega. Very cool.
Cool.
That's a nice. Yeah, that's a nice.
A nice can.
Yeah, it's nice. Very nice. Zippy 9898.
Zippy. Welcome to the show.
And yeah, there was someone else in here that I'm forgetting. I'm trying to see if I could scroll through fast enough to see that person. If you know, Matt Main, I see Matt Main as well. Fang Tactical, Patrick Pew Pew, and he says classic selling Zastava M88A shooters for $199.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, you might want to look that up, Walter.
I think I have one, but I'll check it out.
Yeah. Were you shouting out Sergeant Poppy? I think so, right?
Yes, I was, yes.
Yeah. J-Rock. I see J-Rock. Pixamite as well.
Playing with my dummy shotgun shells here.
Oh, Nico Ghost Gunner. Or is it Nico or Neko? I don't know. Someone's got to. The Pants is in here also. Shout out to the Pants. And let's see. Okay, so that's it. If I missed anyone, let me know, and I will definitely give you a shout out again. We're going to jump into talking about all kinds of different things. Tonight, our big subject is the FBI. Comey, you got Comey. You got Lynch. Okay. You got the guy Strzok. Yeah. Strzok or whatever. That's the dude who was like texting his girlfriend or something like that.
Yeah, and said we're going to get him. We'll take care. We'll take care of Clinton. And, Trump.
Right. Plus, you have backflipping, people in the club shooting, FBI agents.
That's that.
So
that's all part of their urban outreach program.
Well, I watched
he was
that.
break dancing. He was trying to, fit in. Come on.
Fit in,
yeah. So
is that what that was? That was break dancing?
I don't know what kind of dancing that was. So.
Yeah, you know what? We could pull up the video. It was kind of break dancing because the floor was kind of cleared for him, and he did some kind of. Did he flip no? He flipped. He didn't split, right? He didn't flip and split. He just flipped.
Was he carrying a cig?
No, the gun fell on the ground, but when he reached for it, he didn't have the finger out straight. He reached for it and grabbed the trigger and pulled the trigger and shot someone.
Kaboom.
So yeah, that guy had to turn himself in today. We'll talk about that. So the question here, what we're going to talk about, along with a bunch of other things that you guys want to talk about, is whatever happened to the FBI, whatever happened to that like G-man image of old.
There's and it's bad for the guys that are actually doing what they're supposed to be doing with these butthole political appointees for the most part, like Comey, who was not an FBI agent, not a career. He's just a hack.
Oh yeah.
That's what happens when you put political hacks in
political operatives. Yeah.
Right, and you put them in positions of power in these agencies, and they just abuse the shit out of it. So,
now, before we talk about the integrity of the FBI, we remember J. Edgar Hoover wearing dresses and all that, right?
But J. Edgar, he
took care of business. I guess.
He was a visionary.
I guess what you do in your off time. That's
and he had a file on everybody. So
yeah.
That's the way you do it when ask Harvey Weinstein. It'll all probably come out with him too.
So what are you saying? Like J. Edgar Hoover was doing his own self?
He was a known homosexual.
Yeah. Well, so just
but he had files on everybody else's and all their little things, so they didn't dare bring him out, or he'd bring everybody out.
Yeah, leverage. So yeah, we're gonna get into that. We're gonna get deep into this conversation right now. I forgot to shout out Music Lover, so shout out to her, Music Lover. And I think there were some other people I probably forgot. I see Peter Machuco, Ghost Tacticals here now. Shout out to him, James Lawson as well. Just let me know, like I said, if I forgot anyone. So you know what, Lola, myself, the boys, we did actually go to the FBI Training Academy a couple of years ago. I have a friend, William Bethards, actually, who shoots for Cabot Guns. We always see him. I think I've introduced you to him, Walter.
I did?
Yeah, William Bethards, he was on Top Shot, and he was a Marine. He was on Top Shot. He's a competitive shooter, but he's a trainer at the FBI Academy. I think, there are it's a serious thing to become an FBI agent, obviously.
Yeah. Like a real agent, yes.
Yeah, it's a very serious thing. There's like requirements. I think you have to have a degree, some law enforcement, lots of people apply. How many people do they take? I can't remember, Lola. What was it? Like 75 people for each class. Most of those people don't even actually graduate. That gets cut down. So it's a big deal, and we used to look at it in a really positive light. But I think in this modern era, right, where everyone's got social media,
but
it's getting a little crazy. Everyone's trying to one up everyone else, and I think that's what's going on with all these people, Comey included, right?
He's a typical political hack. I mean, his wife is connected. There's more to it than meets the eye. The FBI guy, that report came out and said it wasn't politically motivated or something. What?
Yeah. So
then what was it if it wasn't politically motivated?
Yeah. So let's look at, I know this is CNN, by the way. So there's lots of other. The one I'm pulling up here is from CNN Politics, but so you can take that with a massive ton of salt. But it says the headline here is Comey's actions extraordinary and insubordinate. Report says, but then it goes on as Walter is saying to say it's not. I don't get that.
Well, the
Extraordinary
FBI,
and insubordinate.
law enforcement's job is not to make the law or interpret the law. Their job is to enforce the laws and catch the bad guys, right?
Yeah.
So what Comey did was he said, "Oh, she's all right. She's no problem." That's not his job. That's not his.
And
position.
so, do we know what is Comey's political leaning? I was under the impression he was like a Republican, but he was he trying to play both sides of the fence here?
I think his wife is also connected to the Clintons somehow, if I'm not mistaken. I heard the whole lineage on a radio show one day. And
so when he comes out of the closet and admits that he's political, what do you think he's coming out as, a Democrat?
He's not going to come. Yeah. Oh yeah. He's not going to admit anything because he's already lied. He basically lied in Congress too. I mean, remember last summer he was testifying in front of Congress, and then they found out later on that most of what he said was a bunch of crap.
Yeah.
So, but unfortunately, I don't know why they tippy-toe around these scumbags. Where first they just treat them like they treat me, and
right.
Cite you for contempt and throw you in jail for the biggest thing they can do to those people is cuff them and walk them in front of the press. Please cuff them and walk them in front of the press. That's the biggest embarrassment they could ever have in their whole life. I mean, a lot of people, it doesn't matter. You get cuffed, they go, "Oh fuck, I got cuffed. All right, whatever." But those people, oh my God, I'm in the
saintly.
Yeah.
So I think here, like you were saying, a key finding: Comey erred in his decision not to coordinate with his superiors at the Justice Department at critical moments. What?
And why was that? Because what's her face that met with Clinton on the tarmac basically told him to handle it, and that's not his position or job. It's her job, but she didn't want to have her fingers mixed in with it or her hands in it, which she does anyways. But Loretta Lynch,
Loretta Lynch, she's also in here, right?
Oh yeah.
They also talk about Peter Strzok. The guy who exchanged anti-Trump text messages with former FBI lawyer Lisa Page.
Oh yeah.
They talk about Loretta Lynch. They don't mention, obviously, that's new news. This backflipping, dancing.
Well, that's not part of this investigation. So
yeah, they said that Comey used personal email as well.
Well, and they also said in there that which you would be sitting in jail if you did, with Clinton and her classified email stuff. Yeah, I mean, thousands, hundreds of them.
That's far more common than using personal emails, unsecured devices. That's far more common than anybody makes out. I'm not saying it's right, but I'm just saying it's far more common.
Clinton's closest helper, what's her name is
Abedin,
whatever. Her mother is big time in the Muslim Brotherhood. So let me guess where all those emails went. Right. Can you guess? Yeah. You want to take a shot at it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that chick is Clinton, Hillary's side chick, by the way. That's why. What's his name? What's the name of her husband? Wiener. That's why Wiener's always so lonely.
So and that's also why they say that Hillary's never cared about all Bill's women.
Yeah,
because she's the other way anyway.
Right. Yeah. Right. I mean, you think about that whole thing. Wiener is a Jewish dude married to a girl whose mother is a Muslim, and she's in the Muslim Brotherhood. Explain that one to me.
That's that one awesome Thanksgiving. That's all I got.
Anybody explain that relationship?
Right.
Yeah. I mean,
it's like me marrying, the daughter of like a high-level Ku Klux Klan.
Yeah. Explain that one.
Stranger things have happened.
I mean, and if it was to be explained, you'd probably be so like, oh my God, but
I don't think these people, I don't think that they care about what happened in the past to the Jewish people. Well, I don't think, or that what's happening right now. I don't think it matters.
Yeah, no, but
I'll be honest with you.
the current, the Muslims, they don't give a crap about what and history. They just hate Jews. The bottom line done. So how do you end up in a? How do you explain?
I could tell you when it comes to the Punani, a lot of that could be overridden.
Well, when you're getting secret classified information, you're gonna overlook it all.
Yeah, or if in the case of a woman who's of Muslim descent, when it comes to the sausage, it doesn't matter if it's halal or not.
Well, and if it's all political arrangement, it doesn't matter either.
Right. And
yeah.
That's what kind of getting at. They're getting what they want. So what the heck, right?
Yeah, these people don't necessarily follow conventional things. They did talk about the Lynch Clinton meeting.
Talking about the grandkids.
The funny thing about this, it says that these things were wrong. None of these people are there anymore to be punished or whatever. It's like, yes, it was wrong, but it's not criminal. Come on, give me a break.
The classified information thing is still very viable. It's not. She's not past that. The what do you call it? The limitations or whatever they call it. Statute of limitations have not passed yet for Clinton.
Well, here's what it says. It says, although we found no evidence that Lynch and former President Clinton discussed the Hillary Clinton email investigation or engaged in other inappropriate discussion during their tarmac meeting, we also found that Lynch's failure to recognize the appearance problem created by former President Clinton's visit and to take action to cut the visit short was in error in judgment, the report says.
Well, yeah.
So, I don't, that's the thing about all these reports, do we really think they're going to come out and go, you know what? Some of these people should be arrested, life sentences.
Well, once again, all I want to see them is dragged out in front of the, I got some dinner.
Yeah,
dragged out in front of
shout out to Peggy. Shout out to Peggy Killer Keller.
Yep. Dragged out in front of the press and disgraced. That's all I want to see. Yeah. So.
Yeah. All right. Sergeant Poppy says I might look good in a sheet. I don't know. I do. I think I do. Look, I don't know. I think I do look good in the sheets, but I'm not sure. Okay. I think I have an idea where he's going with that one. Yeah, but not. I'm not, the color of the sheets. I guess does it make a difference? I don't know. So. There you go. I'm not sure what he's referring to. We're talking about a whole bunch of different things.
Thread count doesn't matter, though.
Huh?
Thread count. Got to have some of that Egyptian cotton.
Oh, definitely.
Oh my God. Yeah. I'm all about the Egyptian cotton. By the way, we can grow Egyptian cotton in Florida, apparently, but no one wants to call it Florida cotton. I don't know.
Well, who's picking it? Oh, sorry. I guess it all depends who's picking the cotton.
Some cotton picking people. They got machines for that now, Walter.
I know.
Yeah, so there you go. By the way, Big Dick Willie is in the house.
Big Dick Willie. Nice to hear from you there.
Yeah. So there you go. Big Dick Willie is in with us. So yeah, this whole thing is when you cannot rely on these law enforcement agencies that are supposed to be like above reproach, right? We're in big trouble when all of these things are political. Everyone's looking for the fame. I can tell. The thing I don't like about Comey, whenever I see him, I get that thing. This guy is all about the fame.
Yeah.
He is very full of himself.
Yeah. He's all about the fame. You read his notes and all that kind of stuff. This is, and what does he think at this point? That if Democrats get back in somewhere, they're going to go, oh man,
he's going to get
congratulations. No, dude, he probably thinks he's going to get a position somewhere,
Well, they all thought, he's going to get a position. All right. Grab your ankles.
Missionary.
Yeah. That presents a whole other issue when you talk about Democrats getting back into power too, because there's several reports out there that, they were talking, they've talked for a while about the blue wave, right? This cycle. And with all of the focus that's going on, it's the Trump-Russia ties, it's the FBI stuff, nothing is on policy issues. And that's what people want to hear. And that's what ends up ultimately winning elections. And the Democrats are so focused on all this other garbage that they're saying the blue wave may be a ripple at best. So
the blue wave's going to be a fizzle.
Right.
Yeah.
a fizzle mashizzle or whatever they are.
I got your blue wave.
I got your blue right here.
I got you. Yeah, I got your blue wave. Whenever I hear that, see, I associate that with the school that my kids went to. That's what it was called, blue wave.
You remember Trump, Clinton was supposed to win the election too, remember?
Yeah, yeah. I'm assuming that's what the blue wave is, right?
They thought if they just kept saying that over and over and over and over, you'd go and vote for that, for the CHAG.
Well,
So,
the whole election, the whole time through the elections, and we talked about this stuff, I just kept thinking of V for Vendetta. Have you ever seen that?
I have seen, wasn't there a Hawaii 5-0 thing where they did? It was a different kind of thing where the guy wore a ring, and every time the bad guy punched this guy at and killed him, they left like a V in his face or something.
No. Well, I never saw that. But V for Vendetta is a movie. I think it's supposed to be in the near future. It's kind of like a 1984 type of thing where, you know, the government is controlling the people and using propaganda and all that kind of stuff to control them. And the people stop believing the newscasters. And even at some point, the newscasters stop believing themselves. Well, you know, and that's the kind of thing that happened during the election. And it didn't get better. These guys didn't learn. They didn't go, you know what, maybe we should chill out with that. They're getting worse, and they're pushing people even further away.
Mm-hmm. Believe so.
Well, they can't. They can't accept reality. That's the thing. They can't accept the fact that they're wrong. So they just keep doing the same thing over and over and over, and they go, "Well, I don't understand why we can't do this and we can't do that." Why?
Yeah, it's always we're not doing enough with them. They never stop to think maybe you're trying a little too hard, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's the thing. I think that it's too bad that this is going on. These guys are destroying their own reputation, and we see that happening as well with the Secret Service too, man. Can you believe that? Like you're hearing stories about the Secret Service.
Well, when the Secret Service guys were hanging out with prostitutes and stuff when they were out of country.
Yeah, they're just wilding out.
Speaking about security breach. Oh my God. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, you got to wonder how much of that those went on in the past and stuff too.
Well, I'm sure
it's not a good thing.
I'm sure it's always going on to some extent.
In today's 24/7 news cycle, everybody has a cell phone, so forth, so on. I mean, what about back in the day where those things weren't present? I mean, were they going out and partying and doing other things? They're regular people, probably so.
Yeah, a little bit, but
Yeah, here's the thing. We're all regular people, and that's the problem that we have in society, right? Normal human beings take jobs, and the jobs are not necessarily human jobs that you have to try to live up to a higher standard when you take certain jobs. So, for example, protecting the president and members of his family and all the people down the line that the Secret Service protects, that's a pretty serious deal. It doesn't just affect those people if something happens, regardless of who the president is, right?
Right.
Regardless of who the president is, whether you like him, you don't like him, you don't want them messing around and someone gets hurt. I mean, what if you're a secret agent, a Secret Service agent doing backflips and you shoot the person you're supposed to be guarding?
Right. Yeah.
I mean, this is all terrible stuff to have happen. It doesn't, when you see like Kim Jong-un with his crazy ass, his Secret Service agents are all on point.
Right.
Well, because if they're not on point when they go back, they'll be in the camp.
Yeah.
Or dead.
Well, I mean, they should be certainly held to and strive for, to set an example, right?
Yeah.
Certainly.
But my point was, there's still people screw up, make mistakes, do stupid things. It happens.
But the thing is that okay, so I agree with you that this probably, remember, with Kennedy and stuff like that, hookers and whoever else was coming in and out of the White House. So I agree with you that these kind of things happen, but everyone else kind of has to pull up everyone. We can't have an environment where like, oh, this is normal.
No.
Regular. You have to, if you can't do the job, don't do it. Or if it's tough to do it for a year or 2 years. And then like, oh, I'm going to get out and go somewhere and party.
Yeah.
It's tough. It's a tough thing to do. It's like when you become I think that certain people should be held to a higher standard, the people who serve the people. Right? Because and so for me, politicians, for example, when they're supposed to be serving us, if they steal from us and do these kinds of things while they're in office, they need to have severe penalties for that.
I agree.
Yeah.
You know?
And, I even, maybe I'm extreme, but I even apply that attitude to, tend to apply it to law enforcement in general.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Absolutely. Why not? We have to, like, why would we celebrate? So not just law enforcement, we celebrate firefighters and EMTs and all kinds of people.
Right.
And I'm with it. So if you take the accolades, you also have to take the, what's the anti thing for accolades? I don't know.
I mean, you got to take the good with the bad.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. So you can't go like, if we're going to celebrate that this firefighter ran into a burning building and saved a little baby and all that kind of stuff. If that firefighter is out there doing craziness while he's working for the people, that's just as bad.
While he's working. Yes. While he's working.
Yeah, that's just as bad. If you're a police officer and you're doing that same thing, it's just as bad. So these things have to cut both ways. When you have, like in the case, there was a case, I think it was a month ago, a couple of weeks ago, of a woman that falsely accused a police officer of like trying to assault her and all that. Yeah. And he didn't do any of that. And he's professional. That guy should be celebrated for being professional. Her ass should be in jail. Yep. Get some kind of charges. And then at the same time, when guys aren't professional, they should suffer for that. If that's too tough, don't do that job.
Exactly. If you're stressed out as a result of that and you do crazy stuff, then you just shouldn't be in that position. Sorry.
Yeah. Or do it for a short period of time and get the hell out.
What, the crazy stuff, or get it?
No, I'm talking. No,
yeah,
I'm talking about like if it's too much pressure to stand up to for this amount of time, then you've got to get out of it, because it's very serious what you're taking into hand here.
You're supposed to be, if you're a cop, you're supposed to kind of be looked up to. You're supposed to be the guy that's going to come to the rescue, or that your kids can go if there's something going on, instead of saying, I ain't going near that cop, he's going to kill me. No, you can go to the police and and get some help.
These are some very serious professions, and like this dancing FBI agent that I think he turned. What does it say here? Dancing FBI agent turned himself in.
Yeah, why would you have to turn yourself in? I mean, I guess.
Because he shot someone.
No, but I understand that.
Right.
But I guess the turning in part. I mean, obviously, he didn't shoot him on purpose, so.
Yeah, but I think like we were saying, he might have been drunk. I don't know if he was on duty or what the deal is there. Why why that particular thing happened. Yeah. These are very serious professions, and the people who do it. I know that when we went to the FBI training academy, I've met FBI agents and all that kind of stuff. I mean, these are people who take what they do very seriously, and then the people who don't take that seriously and who bring up these kinds of things, they make it look bad for everyone else. But there's some things that come along with this, and here's what I mean by it. Because I mean, I get it. Like these people are human beings. I agree with that, what Clover is saying. But here's the other problem. If we were in a society where there was some FBI, there were a lot of things going wrong with the FBI, and it was just human problems, but it didn't reflect, we didn't see a negative impact on the rest of things directly connected to what their job is, then I would say, okay. But we do see that there's so many places that they're missing things. We're looking at some of these things that are happening in schools where there's people who are bad guys, and over again, they miss it. They don't do anything about it. They don't follow up on it. And so there's something going on here that these guys aren't paying attention. They're having too much fun and balling out too much.
Well, right. There's no, I guess we'll say there's no, not punishment, but when you screw your job up and your normal job, a lot of times you just get fired, right?
Mm-hmm. No, go ahead, Walter. I'm sorry.
We have to have a review, and we have to do this, and we have to do that, and we have to. Well, the next thing you know, they don't get fired; they just get put in some other position. Especially the uppity ups, they get put in. They get shipped out to the office in Lower Slobovia, and nobody sees them again. Well, that's not really punishment.
Well, but can something be said too about being a reflection on society, and there's something nowadays about taking pride in your work,
right,
and that it's not just you don't need to look at it as a job but a career, right?
Well, yeah, you're representing an organization that's supposed to be above all that kind of stuff.
Right.
So, and let's talk about what happens to people. You were saying, talking about in a regular job. I think in regular jobs, people are held to very high standards.
Yeah.
Regular corporations and companies out there are looking to fire people's asses. I know you don't necessarily think that, but people are getting fired for all kinds of stuff nowadays,
But then again, look at a lot of them and their turnover because of the type of employees that a lot of times they bring in. They just take no pride in their work.
Mm-hmm.
I know good companies that they're great companies, but the problem is they've got good managers and stuff like that. But the rank and file, I mean, their turnover, they're hiring employees every day of the month, it seems like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. There's a whole bunch of different things going on here. So I'm trying to go through. So this guy who was shot in the lower leg. Obviously, he's expected to survive.
Hit an artery, they said. It was a little worse than what most people made it out to be, but he's going to make it.
And he may face additional charges depending on the results of blood alcohol content analysis.
And he should.
Yeah.
Well, it's just I guess bad judgment,
Yeah.
So it's probably not the kind of person you want to have to be an FBI agent. So.
Yeah. So. It's just one of those things. Okay, so you know what? Let's move on. Let's talk about some other things. Do you guys have some new stuff that you want to, that you want to talk about?
Go ahead, Walter.
I said I keep seeing the about gun stuff. I keep seeing the Bullpup conversion for the high point popping up all over the place.
Oh,
that seems to be popular. Which is there a new one that's coming?
Well, I'm just looking right now. I'm looking on the Firearms blog, and they have an article about halfway down the page about that thing coming along, I guess. So yeah,
it's not actually out yet, right?
No, I don't think so. No.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That listen, I think that's interesting. Lots of people are waiting to see that.
And then a couple more spaces down the page, there's another picture of the stocks laying out on the table. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. What do you think about Bullpups, Clover? Are you pro or against?
Personally, because really I don't give two flips if you got one or not. That's your bag of tricks and whatever. But on some stuff they're cool. Like for example, I've got a buddy that's got a Mosin Nagant in the Bullpup, and that's the stupidest thing I've ever shot.
I agree.
Stupid. So it depends a lot on what it is, honestly. But I mean, overall pro. I mean, I'm not for hashtag ban Bullpups or nothing.
Yeah. So, what do you think about this, Walter? Would this make you get a 10mm high point? Yeah, I'm interested in it for the 10mm-ness of it.
Man, a 9mm and then in a Bullpup and then suppressed.
Yeah,
because that's going to cut your overall length, right?
Yeah,
so you would be able to have rifle length and then put the suppressor on it. It wouldn't be 8 foot long, so that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's all right. I mean, it might not be my thing, but I understand why people do it because they want to have something that make it look better or different. And I guess there's the whole utility of the Bullpup. So yeah, more power to them. I mean.
And then I see this thing here. There's an article on The Truth About Guns. School teacher scares off meth addict burglar with her gun.
Well, good.
So let's see. Recently in West Virginia, Angie Steffi, who teaches high school English, was letting her dog out in the backyard when the dog started acting strangely, accompanied by some weird noises in the yard. It could be my husband coming home from work an hour early, she thought. It wasn't. When she looked out the window, she saw someone breaking into her car.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, Angie called 911 and asked the man to leave. After he refused, she decided it might be a good idea to be armed in this situation. Hell yeah, you should always be armed. I believe in house carry.
Yep.
Where do you guys come down on that?
Yeah, I mean, if it's not a situation where you've got one close at all times, which is typically my situation, yeah.
Yeah, where do you come down on that, Walter?
No, I don't know.
Oh, okay. You are the most vulnerable at home.
But should you really make that public knowledge? Whether you
he carries that big knife around in the house. So.
I got my polymer 80 right now, son.
Yeah. I think for us, Walter, everything's kind of public knowledge at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I think it's a good idea to carry it home. Figure out what's the best way for you to do it. Always have something close at reach, because a lot of times in a situation like that, you might see someone breaking into your car, and I think she did the right thing by calling the police.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but you know, you might just walk out there and go after someone, and now you're not in your house. For all you know, you could have like locked yourself out, and you can't go back into the house, and all kinds of things. So
the next thing you know, Joe crack meth head shows up, and it gets really bad physically.
Yeah. So so let's see. So when she went out there, the guy when she stepped out with the gun, the guy ran off and left his meth behind.
Oh, nice score!
Wow,
score! Yeah. Party at that chick's house.
Oh Lord! Hands up, who's ever? What do you do with meth? Do you smoke it? What do you do? I have no idea.
You got me. I think
Walter would know. Walter would know about this.
I've just seen pictures. You know, that's all I've seen is pictures. Yeah, they put those little pipes in. I guess I don't know.
I think you smoke it. I think you do.
Yeah, I guess is it like crack or something? I guess.
I don't know.
I think it's similar. Yeah.
Yeah. My addictions are cars and guns.
Right. I can't afford drugs.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Nothing else. And then this other thing I see here while we're on the subject, and Walter and I from Florida, says Florida Democrat candidate for governor pledges to outlaw assault weapons
by decree.
Oh my Lord.
So let's we're gonna elect a dictator then. Right?
Decree.
Don't dictators rule by decree? That's why they're called.
We're so screwed. We're so screwed in Florida, man. We don't have a lot of good. We don't have good options here in Florida for.
So he's running for king of Florida, then, not governor.
No, it's a she. It's a she. Yeah,
queen of Florida. I'm sorry,
queen of Florida. Yeah.
I don't want to assume gender. I don't want to assume gender. She may be running for king of Florida, so let's be careful with that.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So let's see.
That's not Bill Nelson's daughter, is it?
Let's see what her name is here. This past weekend in St. Petersburg, Florida's 4 leading Democrat candidates for governor squared off against each other. Gwen Graham.
Oh, it's Bill Graham, former Governor Bill Graham's daughter.
Oh, yeah. Lord. Yeah.
So,
so they believe in kings and queens. They really do, Clover. You're right.
And I guess she didn't fall very far off the. I mean, Bill Graham. I've been in Florida a long time, and when he was the governor, he was a Democrat, but things were kind of normal. It wasn't not like now where the Democrats are like communists.
Yeah, old school Democrat.
But yeah, I mean, she must have went to the Moscow University there, or something. So
yeah, man, I'm gonna tell you, Florida. I don't know. I'm losing faith in Florida, man. I don't even like the Republicans, to be honest with you. Everyone's full of shit that's running for political office in Florida, to be honest with you. So, I mean, you saw that thing here in Florida where I'm not sure where that article is, but there was someone that was working at the Department of Agriculture that approves your CCWs. She forgot her password, so she would just approve it everywhere. It's like, you get a CCW and you get a CCW.
But when they did the investigation on that, one of the guys that was the support or whatever, he's like, I could have walked her through that over the phone in like 2 minutes if she would have called me.
Yeah.
Crazy.
But she didn't want to admit that she was doing something wrong.
And they actually had to revoke a few licenses.
I think it's a couple hundred.
Well, I mean, in the grand scheme of how many was processed, it wasn't many. But
right. It was. The press made it sound like it was this ginormous number.
Right.
And okay, any is, I guess you'll say, bad, but it wasn't this ginormous number like they made it out to be.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, you know, you've got a redundancy set of laws in play because so they've got a license to carry, but they can't buy one.
And those people wouldn't pass a background check. That's what they said.
They couldn't pass one on a 4473. So what? Yeah. What are they going to carry?
Key Askey says it was south of 300 recall. So here's the article. This is from the Independent. Florida failed to carry out background checks on gun buyers for more than a year.
And that's false right there.
Yeah, employee could not log on to system, potentially letting applicants with mental health issues buy weapons. The state of Florida failed for more than a year to carry out national background checks on tens of thousands of people. This is a completely so this is a completely different story.
Yeah, that's all fake news.
Yeah,
it wasn't tens of thousands. That's the
yeah. It had nothing to do with the national system.
Yeah, I don't think this is not the article, Lola, but yeah.
And that's what's wrong with the world today. Is you got fake news on both sides.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
you know what? Here's what I would say. In the first place, people, there's too many restrictions in the way of people exercising their constitutional rights, and I think that's the big problem that's going on here. But, overall, man, Florida, there's a lot of weird things going on. I don't think Florida's going in a good direction, and I really can't trust what the Republicans in Florida say either. I think that goes back to what Chuck Woolery was saying, that a lot of these people, that there's a difference between Republican and conservative.
Oh, yeah.
People who are just in the Republican Party, and then people who believe in the Constitution.
Yeah, because I mean, look at him. He even said as much as he's a Republican because he has to be. He doesn't have a choice, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of us, there's a lot of us, and I'm that way. So, I mean, I put myself in that box too, that there's a lot of us that, I mean, we don't have an alternative.
No, I feel that way. I always tell people I'm still registered here as a Democrat, although I typically vote Republican. It just sucks, man. It's apathetic what's going on here. Okay, so here we go. This is from CNN. Florida revoked 291 concealed weapons permits after the employee stopped reviewing background checks.
Okay.
That's more accurate.
Yeah, Florida revoked almost 300 concealed weapons permits after discovering that a state employee failed to review criminal background checks on applicants because she couldn't log into the system. As a result of the problem, which lasted for more than a year, 291 people got concealed carry permits who should not have received them, said Florida Agricultural Commissioner Adam Puntman. He's running for governor. He's running for governor. Yep. The employee was found negligent for not carrying out her job duties, which included making daily checks of the National Instant Background Check System.
And part of the whole thing about reporting this and making it sound like thousands thousands of things weren't done because he is a Republican running for governor, and he's in charge of the Department of Agriculture. Mm-hmm. So that's part of it, because I heard.
Yeah, and that's not on him. You can't hold him responsible for something that.
I heard him explain it actually on the radio when I was driving into work. Explain the whole what actually happened, and that's where I heard the facts versus. Yeah, because he's actually not a bad guy. I don't think so.
You know what? My problem.
You're never going to find this perfect guy, Hank. You're not.
I know. But here's my problem. Like I said, is with the Republican Party, the people that are running it, and they don't the things that they believe, the things that they do. I know what they're saying. What they're telling us all the time is, hey, look, if you don't want to support us, then you're going to get all these Democrats and these liberals in here, and things are going to get worse. I get it. That means that we are fucked. And that's where it comes back to the whole idea of this slavery is mental. This is a mental game that they're playing with everyone. No, they should hold themselves to a higher standard, and the Republicans here should stop carrying out bullshit. Okay, they know better than this. This is the state of Florida, and we technically have draconian laws that some are already in effect and some are going in effect in October. And then these guys are going to get away with doing this bullshit, basically giving in to Democrats and giving them everything that they want. And it's horrible. It's a horrible situation here, and no one wants to own up to it except to say, oh, well, we'll never do it again. And if you don't vote for us, then you'll get these people. And I keep saying, I think a lot of times as human beings, if things don't burn all the way down, we're not going to get changes.
I could get. I think it's further than that, and I don't know the situation in Florida, but the whole we'll never do it again. What I hear most of the time is trying to rationalize it. Not even saying they won't do it again, but rather trying to rationalize it. I can at least respect going, hey, I made a mistake. I'm sorry. This was a disaster. This was a disaster. People didn't want this. I'm not going down that road anymore. I've learned my lesson. I could respect that. But they don't do that. They just try to rationalize it. Well, this demographic over here, and this demographic, and the numbers show, and I don't want to hear all that garbage.
We had to do something.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, that was that's the favorite thing. No,
that's what they're saying. It's like, no, you don't, because there's nothing broken. You don't have to do anything.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. That's often the problem. A lot of times what you should do is don't do a damn thing.
Why don't you drag that little shithead that shot those people out and hang him?
This comes
That'll be something I'd like to see happen.
Yeah, this comes full circle back to what we were talking about with the FBI. We have to do something. You're right. You got to do your job.
Right. And stay out of politics.
Hold yourself to a higher standard. Work harder. When I talk to these guys that put this stuff in effect, they were like, "Oh, but they brought all these buses of children."
Who
and
gives a fuck? They're not even. They can't even. They're not even adults. How are they gonna? You got kids telling you what you're gonna do. They don't have no freaking. They're nuts that even. Most of them nuts that even dropped yet. How are they gonna tell you
Ask
what
those children who live in Florida. Ask those children who live in Florida if they want someone to kick in their parents' doors, at home, their door to get kicked in, and their parents are totally toothless and clawless and have no way to defend them. That's bullshit.
Yeah, well,
okay.
Why are you listening? Why are they listening to kids?
Exactly. What the hell do they know?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I've got two of them. They're total knuckleheads, so you don't have to tell me.
I mean, I don't think the same way I did when I was that age. Thankfully, I had little some of those tendencies, but not.
I'll tell you something for a fact. When I was a kid, I wanted to be able to defend myself, and I was living in New York City. I remember Bernard Goetz, right?
Yeah.
And I remember when that happened. Obviously, that became a racial thing because it's a white guy, a Jewish guy that shot this black guy and all that kind of stuff. But here's what I remember thinking. I was a kid having to take public transportation. I've been robbed and all kinds of stuff had gone down. And I was like, shit, I want to be able to defend myself too.
Well,
that's where all of this started, for me to really start to congeal and become, solid thoughts in my mind. I was like, why do I not want to be able to defend myself? I'm going through it too. It's not a racial thing. These people don't give a shit. They're going to steal from anyone.
Yeah, it don't matter what color you are.
You say it's not a racial thing. So let me throw this out there because this is a thought that pops in my head. When you're talking specifically Parkland, right? You're talking, Hog and whatever, predominantly white kids, middle class, I guess you would say, or whatever.
Probably upper middle class.
And calling for this gun control and that being activists for this gun control, but yet there's no Southside Chicago kids rising up to holler about guns. Why?
Because those kids are scared. They wish they could defend themselves as well.
Well, because
they're not that far off. I guarantee you, they're not that far off from me. They realize that this is a real war, and they have to be able to defend themselves. And I'll tell you there is a racial aspect of it. I'll tell you what the racial aspect of it is, in my opinion. All these laws that these middle-class white kids are calling for in the suburbs, that these politicians are calling for, they are going to put black people in prison, people of color in prison predominantly. That's what's going to happen. That's where there's a racial component in my mind. Because I remember talking to one of the politicians here that put this thing into effect, and that you couldn't buy a gun until you're 21, and his daughter is in that boat. And he's like, yeah, but it's okay because I can give her a gun. Right. That's the problem right there. Because you could do that, but someone else out there and not just someone of color, anyone out there who doesn't have that benefit cannot go on their own and buy a gun and defend themselves until they're 21 years old. But at 17, 18, 19, 20 years old, they could be on their own. They could be working. They could be working late at night. This is Florida we're talking about. This is a place where your job, we were talking about jobs. They're going to go, oh, you can't work here till midnight? Fuck you, you're fired. And you're telling these people they can't do anything, but for you, it's okay because you live in this awesome world where you could just give this to your daughter.
Yeah, right. Yeah, in other words, you're going to make the whatever inner cities, ghetto, whatever, even worse.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, for me, those people are just disgusting, man. It's disgusting. And when you see these people, look at what happened with Kim Kardashian, right? She went to the White House. She talked to the president. She got the president to release this grandmother who admittedly did something that was wrong, spent over 20 years in prison and all that kind of stuff. This is the conversation that Coleon Noir was having with Killer Mike, the rapper, that he was first saying, yeah, all these laws are putting people in prison. And then he overturned it when Hollywood and the other rappers started giving him death threats. He walked back everything that he said. But it's true. With these laws that people want to put into effect, put people like that in prison more than other people.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what I think is going to happen here in Florida. You guys will see it. It's the same thing with stand your ground. You know, there's lots of people when I come across black people here in Florida that don't like the idea of stand your ground because these politicians tell them, oh man, stand your ground. That's so people could kill you. And I say, go find out statistically how many people stand your ground has saved. It's people of color.
Yeah.
A lot of black people saves them from going to jail.
Well, I mean, it is if you're trying to kill them, right? So there's a caveat to that, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So this is where I think that, you know, this is what I think about all these laws. We don't need more laws in America. We actually need less. We need way less.
Yeah, and gun laws disproportionately do affect the black community, without a doubt.
Yeah. But the problem is that people are bamboozled on this and they're looking at it completely the wrong way. You know, I remember that I was doing something with Maj, and there was this rapper there, and he was all, you know, I think Maj asked a question, is there racism in the gun community? And all, we got into this whole thing and he got mad. And then on the other hand, he was saying, you know, I didn't know that we could legally have these guns and do this thing. He's like, you got to work harder to make sure we know about this. You know, and the funny thing about the law, it doesn't give a shit what you know and what you don't know. And if you are a person and you live in this world and you have internet and you have a phone and you can get online, there's nothing stopping you but this. You know, you could get online and find the biggest booties out there. You could definitely get online and go. You don't have to say to someone like me or Maj or Coleon Noir, you guys aren't working hard enough, which is bullshit, because all these guys are busting their asses to let people know what laws are and all that kind of stuff. You shouldn't even say that when we live in a world where you could just go to your phone and like gun laws. Pennsylvania.
Well, and it's even more than that. Let's look at the economic situation, for example, or something like that. We live in the world where even the poorest of the poor have internet and a smartphone, right? Yeah. So instead of looking at stupid rap videos or looking at stupid cat videos, why don't you watch tutorials on how to be a photographer or graphic design, and then get an internship somewhere and better your economic position by using that technology to gain skills?
Yeah,
I don't want to do that. You got to give it to me.
Exactly. That's the problem. Like, it's
weird. I don't want to do that.
In all fairness, they are would be doing that on an Obama phone, right? So,
well, that's another subject. There should be no fucking Obama phones. Sorry.
But listen, here's the thing. Yes, I agree with you. But here's what I'm saying. If it exists, if we live in a world, right, where look, if we go back to 1980. These things were readily available to people.
What's that?
If we go back to before the internet, you don't need the internet to find out about gun laws.
Nope.
There's this thing the Egyptians invented called fucking library.
There's a book.
Yeah, there's books. Library. There's all kinds of things out there, and you have the responsibility to find the things and find out what's going on and realize what's happening.
I ain't got no library card. What am I supposed to do?
And the crazy, like, I don't know if you guys, I'm telling you, it seems like I bring this up, but I don't think people should go watch, because when Coleon put this thing out with Killer Mike, they didn't put out the whole 47 minute long conversation. They edited it down, right? And they put it out. And then people got mad and said that the NRA TV people edited this thing to make it to change his words. So they put out the whole conversation. And I think that people need to watch that, because you're going to realize that this guy was talking truth.
Well,
he was talking truth.
But he squirmed back, though, didn't
he? Because he was talking truth, they came down on him. This guy got death threats. And he got not just death threats, he got what's even worse, financial threats, right? He got threats from people in Hollywood and people in the music business and all that kind of stuff. And they were like, dude, back off of that. And the truth of the matter is, all these laws put people They put the people who are out there saying, oh, you know what? We got to get rid of these, make these things illegal and do this. It puts those people in prison. And that's where I'm telling you, this is where slavery becomes a choice for people, when they don't understand exactly what's happening and why it's happening to them. You know, and we're out here, regardless of who we are, we're all out here trying to say to people, you don't want this. You don't want new laws about this. You don't want them to make this stuff illegal. You know, and that's the thing that I'm trying to say, because that state senator that voted in all of these laws, he could have actually, this is a guy who's a Republican, and he was the head of this committee. He could have just killed it. It would have never come to a vote. Okay. Him or his family, people who look like him, will not be driving around with guns and get pulled over and have a police officer go, did you modify this? That's not going to happen. Okay. What will happen is someone like me will be driving around and get pulled over. And most of us in Florida that have guns have modified them. And you're going to get pulled over and someone's going to go, you know, I can't find anything on this guy. Let me see. Did you modify this thing? And no matter what you say, they're going to go, I think we got to look into this, because they know it's a high probability. And I'll tell you why I know that. That's the problem with the frickin' tint laws, right? They use the laws as a reason to pull someone over.
Right. Yeah.
So when you're in that situation that they can do these things, and it's not, I'm telling you, it's not just like black people or people of color. It's the people who are on the wrong side of the track.
If you run the statistics, more white people get it than black people. So
well, because there's more
white people.
Yes, of course.
I got pulled over once for that kind of.
Yeah, and there's also more people on the other side of the track. But what I'm trying to say to you, if they pull over that guy or they pull over his daughter or someone in his family, they're going to get away with that. Do you understand? We're not going to see it happen where that person, they're going to go, yep, we're going to seize this thing and we're going to find out if you modified it. And then they're going to prosecute and do these kinds of things. But they're going to do that with other people. I know you don't believe me, but there's this thing that happened in the 80s called crack cocaine. And then in places like New York City, they came up with laws that said one vial gives you 20 years in prison.
Well, I know that.
Okay. And that's where a lot of this stuff comes from. And I know this because I remember being 16 years old in New York City, where these police officers literally planted vials of crack cocaine at my feet. Okay. You know, and then they try to trick me into admitting it. And I was like, I know for a fact I didn't do shit. So I'm not admitting to anything that I didn't do. And they had to throw that whole case out. And when it was getting thrown out, the judge was literally, I was in the courtroom and the judge was cursing these guys out. And like 10 minutes before they brought me into the courtroom, they were saying, listen, if you plead guilty, you're only going to do 6 months in prison. I was like, you guys are out of your damn mind. So this is the situation that we create. And I get this, but people don't realize it. They think they're somehow helping themselves and they're setting themselves up, and the politicians are fucking with you where you just don't realize it. You don't realize you're setting yourself up. So I don't think
the politicians are trying to get the black folk for this stuff to just happen. It's not about, it's not about going after. That's the furthest thing from their minds at this instance. This is not about most. I would say most guns that are going to get pulled over by a black guy driving are not going to be with a slide fire or a Geisley trigger it's not going to be that demographic that's going to get popped by this. I don't think so. Now they might pull you over looking for that, but
yeah, what I'm talking about is there's people who are going to get justly pulled over, who are maybe bad guys or whatever, and there's people who are going to get unjustly pulled over. Well, and even it's more about, like, why do these people want to create laws? Why do they need to create the laws?
Control. That's all it is. It's nothing. There's nothing to figure out. It's control.
Yeah. Do you think they're going to create the laws so that they don't enforce them?
I'm not going to. Yeah. We can spend all night going around in circles about it.
Yeah. So they want to create these laws so that they can enforce them.
I don't know. I don't subscribe to that completely.
Yeah,
I think that they create a lot of laws, regulations, ordinances, whatever it might be, to be able to say, look, see, I did something.
Look what I did. And it's got his name on it. And it goes into perpetuity.
And a microcosm of that is that, yes, it creates hardship for other people.
Yeah, and
it's something they can enforce. Somebody, if somebody wants to go gung ho and enforce that, at that point they can. So
right. And so that brings me back to this question. You have to look at people. Let's just look at the conversation that we're having. There's three people here. There's three people here. Two people think that I'm not going to get pulled over. No one's going to give a shit about that. And then there's someone who thinks, oh, I'm going to get pulled over and someone's going to give a shit about that.
Heck, if I get pulled over when I'm coming from your house most of the time, a slide fire stock and a Geisley trigger is minor fucking shit.
Right.
When I get pulled over and they find 10 machine guns in the car, and they're all legal, by the way, but it doesn't matter. They go into ballistic mode anyways, and at that time you just sit there and let them have their way. Yeah,
no, I understand that, but what I'm saying,
so it's like 9 times out of 10. But yes, I see what you're saying. I know people that already asked me, what do I do with my stock? I slide fire stock. I said, take it off, put it in the closet, forget about it. I mean, are you going to turn your stuff in?
Right.
Yeah. No. Okay, I see where you guys are coming from.
I'm not turning anything in. I don't have anything.
Yeah. I understand exactly what you're saying.
Well, I mean, they've got to have a reason to pull you over first. I mean, obviously they're not going to see
9 times out of 10. 9 times out of 10.
But realize
I go back to that because I've got tattoos. I drive. I'm the quintessential redneck, right? I'm sure there's people probably in close proximity to me that cook meth that look similar to me. So I could be stereotyped just as easy as anybody.
Yeah, and that happens.
I drive a pickup that's what, 10 years old, nearly 20 years old, I guess. That's prone to the tail light going out or the license plate light going out or anything else that could get me pulled over. And then I jump out Joe Redneck with tattoos with guns in the back, and here we go, right?
Yeah.
Next
so what that
meth head, right?
So what that comes down to is a police officer pulling someone over. What are they looking for? They're looking for the person that they're most statistically probable that they will be able to arrest that person.
Right.
Yes. That's why they're pulling someone over. You can look at how police departments work. So in where I live, where it's a small police department and they don't have time for that bullshit. That's it. They don't mess with most of the people in the place. They go after the guys who they know are bad guys. I don't have any problem with that. That's who they go after. They're not sitting out there like, oh, wait a second, the speed limit was 60 and you were doing 70. Yeah, they don't waste their time with that. But then when you come into like Gainesville, where I'll tell you in Gainesville where I live, there's Gainesville Police Department, Florida Highway Patrol, there's University of Florida Police Department. Yeah, there's the Alachua County Sheriff's Department. There's Santa Fe Community College. There's 5 police departments.
And you're near the interstate, so the ICE is always running up down the interstate.
Yeah. So these guys are they're trying to rationalize why they exist all the time.
No, that happens.
And they're out there pulling people over. And yes, Clover, I agree with you. I know guys that like have an old pickup truck, and that's why they get pulled over all the time, like you said.
Well, your tag lights out, you drive around at night. You get stopped. I mean, but it happened right in front of our shop. With my son driving, just pulled out in the road, and there's the sheriff, and he pulls it, woo on. It's like,
Or seatbelt gets me because occasionally I'll forget. It happens. But
yeah, and so the thing obviously we should probably move on from this. But here's the thing: we started this conversation with talking about how people on the higher echelons of law enforcement are abusing their power and authority and stuff like that. And so we want to keep this in mind. This is the reason why we always want to fight all these kinds of things, because when something exists that someone can use against you, they will. The thought that, oh, they're not really going to use this again, because that's exactly what these guys told me. They're like, listen, no one's ever gonna prosecute this. Don't worry. Like, why are you all mad about these laws we're putting into effect?
They don't need to have a law then if they're not going to prosecute it.
Yeah,
exactly.
Well, and it's a 2-part thing too that really gets me when people come down on law enforcement, right? And I'm not saying there's not bad law enforcement. I'm not saying there are ones that utilize the law, like you're saying, and go completely gung-ho.
As a way to create income for their department?
But it's a two-part system. They would not have that law, ordinance, regulation, whatever, to enforce if the politicians didn't create it.
Done it. Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
And people lose focus of that sometimes, and they only focus on the law enforcement picking on people. It's like, well, we need to attack it from both sides. We need to make sure the law enforcement knows that, hey, this is not right. But then we need to fight it in the legislature and say, hey, we don't need these bullcrap laws, right?
Yeah. Yeah. When a politician tells you that they're putting a law into effect that no one's ever gonna use, and that person is supposed to be a Republican and a conservative, that's how you know the world's upside down.
Well, they don't have means to get reelected on their own. That's what that tells me.
Yeah,
because they're dependent on the Republican Party for money. That's what it comes down to. So
yeah, absolutely. I see someone saying that seatbelt shouldn't be a law. I'm hurting.
God,
myself. If I don't
did you see the video of the car hitting the toll booth? You had to seen it. It's been all over Facebook.
No, I haven't. I have not seen it, but I tell you what I did. Lola was telling me that last night or 2 nights ago, there were these kids that I think that no one was older than 21 years old, and they were in a car, and they got into a car accident. No one had seatbelts on, and 5 of them are already dead, and one in the hospital, 1 or 2 in the hospital in critical condition.
This car, the toll booths are separated, and they have a partition between them. This car hit this toll booth going full speed. Hit the barrier that's supposed to slow you down. Guy comes out of the windshield and lands in the lane next to a car in the toll booth. Mm-hmm. And it's like you watch it and you go, "Holy fuck!" He's flying right through the air, it's right through the front windshield. Luckily, no one died. The driver walked away from it, and people were. Even the guy that flew out of the windshield somehow wasn't injured badly where he killed him.
He's really lucky. Maybe he was slowing down or whatever. In this case, these kids were within Gainesville, so you can't go more.
Yeah, but it happens all the time when you
can't go more than 45 miles or so an hour in Gainesville, and they're mostly dead.
Well, the car rolls over or hits something, they all go flying out. And,
and the thing still, what do I think about that? I think ultimately, that's a decision that a person gets to make. And I would suggest that my kids wear their seatbelts. I would suggest you wear it, because if I care about you, wear your damn seatbelts.
If you're lucky, and your face is still on your face after you hit the windshield.
Well, I can speak to. I had an incident at one time that could have been very, very bad, and this changed my mind. It didn't change my mind that it should be a law or a regulation, but that people definitely need to wear them. Is that I was in a situation to where there's not a doubt in my mind, if I did not have my seatbelt on, I would have lost control of that vehicle. That seatbelt held me in place well enough I could regain control.
Yeah, absolutely. And so DCG44S sums this up well. He says seatbelt use is good. Laws requiring seatbelt use are bullshit.
Agreed.
But we have too many damn laws. So there you go. Okay, so you let's move on to a couple of things here. There's a couple of I'm going to do that ATI 1022 giveaway. I'm going to do that right now, and that was on Instagram on ATI Outdoors. Instagram. I'm going to pick someone for that. And then also we have a giveaway going on right now with Andrew's Custom Leather. We're giving away a Monarch shoulder holster. You can win it either for Glock 1911 or SIG 226. And to be involved in that, I've posted some stuff on social media. Go out there, check it out, comment on it. Make sure you're following Safety Harbor Firearms on Facebook and Instagram. And I think we'll do that. I think we're like a week or so into that. We'll do that maybe in about another week. What you got there, Walter? Oh boy,
ice cream.
Oh, you're just gonna keep rolling with this. So so we've got that going on as well. You have to be your email address has to be in on hankstrange.tv. So make sure that it's on there. Let me go right now. I'm gonna go right now to IG. So let's go take a look at this. Let's see. ATI Outdoors. I'm going to go there. I'm going to look for a handsome guy showing a Ruger 1022 stock.
Oh man.
Wow, that's just a good looking hunk of man meat right there. And so a bunch of comments from last night, which is cool. But I am going to go with tongue for twisting. Tongue for twisting. So there you go. Or twistin. IN. So tongue for twisting. You are going to get this Ruger 1022 kit. Okay. From ATI Outdoors. Private message us. So let me see. I'm going to leave a message on his. I'm going to leave a message on the thing here. Oh, God. Okay, you want it. You want it. PM us. There you go. With your info, make sure your email is in. Is it annoying when someone reads out what they're typing?
I don't know.
Extremely, yes.
Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna make that comment. Okay, and then we'll move on. Let me see, what else do we have to talk about? I think Walter, you had something.
I went over to Fox News and was scrolling down through the stuff on Fox, and I guess let's see here. Sanders, Sarah Sanders, the press secretary, slammed CNN star. It's hard for you to understand even short sentences. He's the guy that screamed out at Trump and Kim Jong that you know, when you're going to denuclearize or whatever. So, but anyways, yeah, I like her because she doesn't take no crap from nobody. So.
Okay, and if tongue for twisting is here in the chat, let me know. I'm not sure who that is.
So Jim Acosta, wasn't it? That kept
Jim
hollering
Acosta.
out.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of rude. Oh,
that's
rude.
unnecessary. That's just
so fill me back in on this. What went down?
Okay. In Singapore, Acosta was there, and as I guess Jim, as a North Korean and Trump are walking along, he yells out, "When are you going to denuclearize?" Something like that. You know, at a time when you're supposed to be on your best behavior. So they were threatening. People were saying they should pull his press privileges, but I guess
he hollered out. He hollered out 2 or 3 times. He was like,
"Oh, okay."
He was like, "How did the meeting go?" And then they kind of ignored him or kind of brushed him off, and he was like, "Did y'all come to an agreement?" You know, and he's like, "Are you going to give up your nukes or something?" And I'm like, "Shut up, man! You're making us look like a bunch of buffoons over here,
dude." Yeah.
But you know what? I don't think they should take away his press privileges. Well, I'll tell you why I believe that. You need these people. They are helping the re-election campaign.
Yes,
I'm just telling you. You got to let them keep doing their thing, man.
Right.
That's why I said Eric Holder should be the Democratic candidate in 2020. Yeah, please give us Eric Holder, please. Yeah, maybe he can get the Mexican cartels to back him.
There you go.
Guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, he gave him a lot of guns.
Yeah.
So I think they'll appreciate that.
Yeah.
So Watchdog wants to know. He's a dumb question. How do I make sure I'm in the running for the Monarch holster again? So I've posted stuff, and I'm going to continue to post stuff on social media. I think we have a posting on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all that kind of stuff. Go look at those posts and comment on those posts. Go to Firearms. Go there. Andrew's Custom. You can go there.
Yeah,
Andrew's Custom Leather. Go there and make sure you're following Andrew's Custom Leather, and then your email address has to be in with hankstrange.tv. So if you go to hankstrange.tv, there's a thing there that you can put in your email address. You're on our email list, and you can keep in touch with what's going on with us through that. And we're going to send one. We're going to send out a newsletter tomorrow. What's up, Walter?
Richard Hughes gets the award tonight.
Guarantee you, yeah.
A Wiener Holder ticket.
That's a winning ticket if I ever heard one.
Wiener Holder.
Wiener Holder. They could win.
Can you see the campaign sign for that? Yeah.
Would it be would the cartoon on it be a hot dog bun? I'm just curious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? Be careful what you wish for.
Right. Well, bring it on.
Stranger things have happened. We have the president now. So
yeah.
Oh, anyway.
Yeah. So there you go. So yeah, let me know. I don't know if that person is here. I don't know if that person is here in the chat, because I know, like, whenever I give away something, everyone in the chat goes, "It's me."
Right.
So, seriously, dude.
Naturally. Yeah.
So I don't know if that dude is actually in the chat because everyone's like, oh, it's me.
Yeah, I did it.
So whoever's tongue for twisted, if you are here in the chat, let us know. Congratulations to you. We're going to give away more stuff. So don't worry about it, guys. We got more stuff to give away. I just even need to get myself really organized here. I've got stuff. Walter's going to be giving away stuff.
Yep.
Right. We should make Walter give away an ice cream bar. Ice cream.
Maybe like a gift certificate to Costco for ice cream.
Well, I was gonna say it'd be awful hard to ship an ice cream bar.
Every day we could call this the SHTF something
ice cream day giveaway.
Yeah,
I'm the ice cream man. Stop
the passing by. Ice cream TF or something like that. So
I see Moscheray made the Truth About Guns. They were saying Moscheray takes his urban gun rights campaign to Chicago. So he's getting suppressed much.
He was in Chicago, which is cool.
Yeah.
Like I said, there's people outreaching and trying to get people. I think we need to. The reason why I brought it up, and I'm not trying to get back into it because Lola's giving me the stink eye. Yeah. We need to get these people involved. They can't say how right now Kim Kardashian has to take her big booty and campaign for you to get out of prison. You can stop people making these laws that are going to put more people in prison by understanding what the Constitution is and what things like the Second Amendment mean.
And read and look at the laws we already have that aren't being enforced.
Well, then what would Kim Kardashian do?
I got some stuff she can do. So, but kudos to her, man. Hey,
she could be the new governor of the state of California because there's going to be
or the 3 states of California.
Yeah, what I was getting to is going to be California proper, and then North California, I guess, in South California or East
NoCal, SoCal, and proper. Yeah.
And they'll all be like no money Cal.
So, I think Mexico should just take California back.
God, maybe we can sell it to them. we don't even sell it because we don't want it, right? Trade it to them for them.
What?
Trade it to them, and all they got to do is build a wall between it and the rest of the country.
Okay, good luck with that.
Yeah.
Good luck with that. Okay.
Well, I mean, Trump needs them to pay for the wall. I say forget them paying for the wall. Give them California and let them build the wall, right?
I don't think you need a wall if you just go along the fault lines. I think we should get Elon Musk, the Boring Company, to drill along the fault lines.
He's too busy making flamethrowers right now with the Boring Company.
Maybe we can frack California off. How's that?
That's what I'm saying.
Frack it off. Frack it off, dude.
Yeah, Trump could open fracking in California. That would help.
They would go into a meltdown then. That's what the
Yeah. So I saw this, speaking of Elon Musk, Tesla is cutting 9% of its workforce.
Imagine that.
Tesla CEO Elon Musk has revealed that the company is cutting 9% of its workforce. The news was announced on Twitter, and the Tesla CEO said that this is part of restructuring in order to reduce costs and become profitable. Good luck with that.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah, the change will not affect the production of their Model 3, which has more than 400,000 orders for the car.
Wow.
Tesla is yet to make a profit since the company launched. These job cuts will apparently be focused on streamlining management at Tesla. Elon, they should streamline the hell out of his management.
By the way,
Just
because you don't make a profit, don't mean you don't make buttloads of money.
Right.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, I understand that. I don't get it though. They've got 400,000 orders and they're laying people off.
They can't afford to build the car.
Good luck with them. Good luck with them actually getting those cars out then.
Well, I mean,
yeah.
Well, maybe they lay off one, then they incentivize the, 2 for that one they laid off or something, and they get better production or whatever from that employee or something. I don't know. They're probably smarter at the business side of things than I am. So
no, it's a shell game, man. It's a con. That's all big con. At some point, we're going to have to admit it. These guys got a lot of government money.
Oh, yeah.
for this company.
I mean, look at all the scams during Obama with his the companies that were supporters of that gave him money. Then
the green movement or whatever.
All the solar power ones and all solar.
Aren't most of those out of business now?
Oh, they're gone. Yeah, hell, they're gone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was all political payback. Yeah. So yeah, they got the money and then they ran with the money and that was it. So, yep. Cash. Remember Cash for Clunkers? You guys remember Cash for Clunkers?
Yeah.
You remember that? I wonder how many of those people that went out and got rid of their perfectly good car and went out and bought a brand new one. I wonder how many of those were repossessed when they found that.
Right.
When they found out they couldn't afford the new car. So
yeah. Opt Out of Gun Control said they laid off the execs, not the workers. So which is the thing. That's what was in there.
That's dead weight for sure. Most companies.
I still don't think they're going to be able to build those 400,000 cars the way people think.
Nah.
You know,
not if they have to do it with their own money. No.
Yeah, I think the long game here is some companies going to come in and buy Tesla, but there's other car companies that are planning. That's why I'm telling you, everyone's getting into space. So, we kind of took the hit with Tesla and they sold all the dreams, and there's still there's 400,000 dreamers out there. And then the other companies are coming along and they're like, okay, we got your electric car right here.
Wait a minute. Mexicans can't buy a Tesla. They don't have enough money. They're dreamers. What are these dreamers?
There's some Mexican millionaires and billionaires,
I said all the cartel leaders can.
Yeah, well, that's true. They got rooms full of cash. Yeah.
There's probably close to 400,000 of those in Mexico, I would suspect.
Probably.
Yeah. The Pants says it's the Cash for Clunkers' fault. I can't find a good deal on a used truck. There's going to be how much you want to bet they do that Cash for Clunkers thing again?
No. And that completely killed the classic car market. Oh man. That hurt the classic car. I mean, you're going to see, you look at all the 60s muscle cars and other things, and through the 80s and 90s, there were some pretty cool cars that would be, at this point and going forward, some awesome rides to have parked in the garage, restored or whatever. And it completely killed that. There'll be a generational gap now because of that stupid program. It's going to suck.
Post-traumatic stress from Cash from Clunkers.
And used parts. He mentions, buying a used truck, but it's not just that, but like scrap yards. They cashed out big time. I had an uncle that had one when that went on, and he just completely sold out.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a big scam, too.
And, I mean, you can't get parts. You can't get nothing.
Or when they shut down the GM dealers, and they come to find out most of the ones that were forced out of business were Republicans. Right. That was another scam.
So, okay, Walter, you're responsible for Gorn today. What you got there?
Well, here I got the Polymer 80 that I put together, running flawlessly at this moment.
Okay.
Except the sights like to come loose on it. I guess I got to tighten them up or put some Loctite on them or something. But we took it out over the weekend and busted some caps with it. It's working good.
Okay. Did you make it full auto?
Not yet. And we haven't made this fun switch yet. Then, like I said before, I brought home a Shockwave, Mossberg Shockwave. I bought when these came out. I thought to myself, "It's brilliant idea," because non-NFA, everybody can buy it. Great. Kind of slowed my shotgun business down, but that's fine. That's fine.
When that come out, I was a little skeptical about it and everything, and then I didn't even shoot one until SHOT Show. And I did, and I believe it was 20 gauge. And I could see from the first trigger pull, I was like, hey, I can see a market for this.
Hell yeah.
This is cool.
This is non-NFA, no paperwork. It's still cool, and it's little for what it is.
Yeah, they were shooting the mini slugs. We were shooting the mini slugs, I think, and the mini buckshot in it. It handled them great.
I mean, you can't aim it worth a shit because it's not made to do that.
Well, it's a shotgun.
But it's from the hip. From the hip, it's fun. Right. It's a fun gun, and it has its purpose. And great home defense gun actually. Remington TAC 14 style gun that I actually made from a pistol grip Remington, which is still considered the firearm. It's not a shotgun because of the fact that it's not sporting as ATF considers it. Mm-hmm. So, but I made one myself using one of those and used the Shockwave grip.
So do we know how many of those have sold?
No, but I know that lots. And now they got a 410, a 20 gauge, and Chiapa. I think it's Chiapa or one of the companies that imports stuff from, I think, Turkey. They've got a 410, a 20, and a 12 also, and they're cheaper than the Mossbergs. So, yeah, it was a great idea. I mean, when I saw it, I just thought, wow, they just took the law and used the law like it's written and interpreted it, and boom, you got it. So, brilliant. Give credit where credit is due. But yeah, what else?
What other Gorn you have?
What Gorn you got?
And I mean, and Clover is going to show us his rocket launcher, which he's actually going to shoot off in the living room.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
Clover, they were asking about your logo.
Yeah, they asked about the rifle there, so I guess that's Gorn in a way. That's hand drawn. I drew that logo. Cool. I don't know how many months ago somebody called me the Tactical Leprechaun months and months and months ago. I was like, hey, that's pretty cool. I'll run with it. And I don't know, it's been a couple of days drafting and playing around on some paper and drawing, and so it's sort of an AR platform, but the barrel's crooked because it's hand drawn, and
it kind of looks like you got an FAL mag in it, kind of a little bit because it's straight. Yeah, no, it's cool. It's cool. Mm-hmm. It don't have to be anything. It's a Leprechaun. Leprechaun made that gun. You know,
yeah, I mean, it's magical.
Hello.
So you hand drew this whole thing?
It shoots moons and stars and clovers.
He's guarding his pot of gold.
Yeah, but you drew this whole thing, right, Clover?
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. Yeah, I like it.
No, it's cool.
And it's a very good likeness of you.
It is. It really is.
Okay.
When I get mad, anyway, it is.
You go green. You won't like me when I'm angry.
Right.
You don't like me when I get mad
because I shrink down and turn green.
Right. I'm the reverse of the Incredible Hulk. Right.
Yeah. And Clover's also going to show off his full auto gold. I'm telling you, 18 karat gold AK. I hope you guys are enjoying it.
24, go home, baby.
Okay. I was trying to be realistic. Okay, what is that?
Okay, this is some mag Gorn.
Whoa.
Yes, you guys have seen the gun before. Tell me what it fits. Clover hasn't, but the
yeah, I've seen it before. I'm trying to remember now.
20 Mike.
Okay, 20
Lottie.
20 millimeter Lottie.
Lottie mag, yeah.
Yeah, Lottie Dottie. I like to party.
If we had smell-o-vision, the smell of the mag and the grease and everything, it's like epic.
Right.
You know,
now do they make that in a pocket carry version?
Everyday carry, that kind of thing.
Right.
Those are some big pockets.
Just think how big your everyday flashlight and knife would be if you carried that for.
Well, you can store them in that mag. What are you talking about?
Yeah, you can have a couple MREs, and
in fact, you could store your everyday carry in that mag, and yeah, it would just pop out new handguns instead of an extra round.
I like to. Can you see you're riding in your car? We're talking about getting stopped by the popo. You're riding in your car and you got this mag. You don't have the gun in the car. You just got this 20 millimeter magazine with a round sitting in the thing. What the reaction would be when the cops goes in and goes, I could just see that there's like a stare. It's like,
you know what I would tell them when they asked? I would say, well, when I push this button on the dash, the fender folds out.
Or I'd be like, where's the rest of it? I don't know.
Boy.
I don't know where the rest of it is.
Yeah. So there were some stories that we didn't cover, like the politician who pepper sprayed himself.
Oh,
you want to go into that? Yeah. You want to go into that, Clover?
I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, we can talk about that real quick. I got it here, but Levi Tillman or Tillyman maybe running on the Democrat ticket in Colorado, and he says here. Let me pull up a couple of quotes. He says, "I'm calling on Congress to stop talking past each other and try something new." It says, empower schools and teachers with non-lethal self-defense tools like this can of pepper spray. And he goes on to talk about how you can get pepper spray for $1. And he says, trust me, this will stop anyone in their tracks. And then at that time in the video, there is a video out there of this moron. But at that time, whoever's filming, I guess, shoots him in the face with this pepper spray for him to demonstrate. So he's running around the rest of the video talking about how It's non-lethal, and you don't got to worry about accidentally shooting the kid.
But he's moving around,
and he's flushing his eyes with a water hose, and he's dunking his head in a tank of water, and it's pretty entertaining. You may want to go watch it. But I just, the whole idea, we all know how, unless you get a really expensive something like shoots pepper balls or something like that, we know the limited range that you've got with a pepper spray. So I don't know. I'm not opposed to his idea, but I think that alone is not gonna solve a problem.
Well, we all know when you start spraying spray into the air, it goes everywhere.
Well, that's true. I mean,
so next thing you know, the kids got it in their eyes, and the teachers got it in their eyes.
So his point is that it's non-lethal, so it's okay if they get, if you get collateral damage from the pepper spray. I guess. All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think we need to do more than that, but so yeah, obviously that's batshit crazy. Here's something I think we promised people that we would talk about this, the flavors thing. I was going to tell you guys, and this is kind of like an old story, but I saw it on Facebook because Facebook has this thing of bringing up old stories. Okay. So I wanted to know if you guys heard of this, and I will. Here's what I see. Vagina flavored beer made from model's vagina yeast.
Okay.
Did you hear about that?
No.
Walter?
No, I did not.
No.
Yes. Is this beer that you would take part in?
All right. So is this a stanky one or a clean one? Is this one that just ran a marathon?
So there's a bunch of.
Does it come from Sam Adams? I might would trust Sam.
Maybe Samantha Adams.
Is this Betsy Ross's?
So it actually got the yeast out of a model's vajayjay,
yeah.
and used that to make. I don't know why you would want this.
Okay,
and it's real. Apparently, from what I'm seeing, it's a real thing. It's been out for some time.
I don't think that I would gravitate.
And can I ask how we know for a fact where it came from?
Because they're saying it.
Oh, okay.
Just look it up. Just look it up. Just something for you guys to marinate on. Something for you all to marinate on. Is this a beer? Do you think this beer is going to become popular? Is it better than Dos Equis?
Okay, opt out of gun control. Is that like breast milk cheese?
Oh, I had never considered that.
Pixamite said, I just officially left the. This is a real thing. You could Google it if you want to. It's. I would never do it. I would never do it.
You ruined my beer drinking forever now, by the way. Don't you know that?
Like, I double dog dare you guys to go to a bar and ask for that. Okay?
I need some of that the JJ yeast beer. Yeah.
It's a lot better to ask for it by name. I can assure you.
Yeah.
Ask for us by name.
The pants says now it's called Blatz.
Blatz
beer. Yeah, that's a cheap beer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, no, I hadn't heard of that, Mr. Hankstrom.
They'll come up with anything.
Yeah.
So and I think they're coming up with different flavors. Like you can get a blonde. I don't know what the difference would be there. Okay, and then here's one last thing.
Can you get a full-bodied redhead?
Yeah. What do you think would be the good flavor?
How about the one that get the highest off is crack whore?
Oh Lord. You had to go there.
It was going that way, but
I would rather drink the pickle flavor. I would rather have pickle flavored beer. Thank you.
Than crack whore beer.
Well, the crack whore would be considered the high life, right?
Yeah.
That's got the highest proof.
Yeah. Okay. So I think this is woken up the audience. We should get thumbs ups for that, people. We should get thumbs up.
Absolutely.
So you should give us thumbs ups for that. And just in like personal stuff to me, I see Car and Driver says that they've spotted a 2020 Audi R8.
Oh, really?
Yes, spied in the wild with styling changes are just part of the story. So let's see. Revised Audi R8 designed to boost interest in the mid-engine supercar as it heads into its twilight years. is made evident by the placements of camouflage. The biggest visual adjustments are to the front and rear clips, as well as some possible changes to the side skirts. More significantly, Audi is also expected to introduce an entry-level model with a smaller engine and a lower price.
Whoa. Entry-level R8?
Yeah, that's called an Audi TTRS.
That's no, you don't entry-level supercar.
You know, but I think what's going to happen with
that's
a lot
like
of
putting
cars,
a 4-cylinder in a Suburban to get better gas mileage. They don't do that.
Yeah.
You just don't do that.
I think what's happening with a lot of these things are going to start watering them down. So
they're gonna pussify them. They'll look badass, but they'll pussify them. Yeah.
Yeah. So
you get a free case of a JJ beer with every Audi R8.
Oh my God. You know, that's how we could save the planet. We should make the JJ beer run all our cars. That's how we save the planet right there.
And the supercars got crack over JJ.
Yeah. So
oh, look at
let's
this.
see.
You know, Robert De Niro's a crazy guy. You know, there's a story on Facebook here saying he was a client of a prostitution ring that used children.
Robert De Niro?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Well, yeah, there's it's not rumor, but it's kind of fact that that's going on out in Hollywood. The whole Weinstein thing is pretty minor compared to the other stuff going on.
Well, and
how confirmed is that?
Years ago, you had the whole Roman Polanski thing.
Yeah, right.
Well, that's kind of part of that.
It didn't go away. They just keep it under cover and keep it under wraps, and they get, exit. It's kind of like the old J. Edgar Hoover thing. If you got enough bad info on enough people, you can keep everybody quiet, can't you? So, I guess this trafficking of children and using them for sex and stuff is something that's been brewing for a while out there. But it doesn't get any traction in the press for some reason.
Yeah, but we should before, like, is this confirmed or whatever before,
Well, I mean, I've read about it. Other things where you see these posts and it's like, but it just can't get any traction. The rumor is the place that Bill Clinton used to go to with his buddy, that island that they go to, is like with a lot of Haitians.
So okay, so I'm not, I'm
not going to say it's fact, but
yeah,
that's what
the whole trafficking thing, and that's a thing globally. We know that exists for a fact.
Well,
so.
yeah. But
and also, like, if you look at Snopes, which I'm not saying that I trust Snopes, Snopes says that it's mostly false. What's true, they say, is in early 1998, De Niro was questioned in a large-scale French investigation of procuring prostitution after his name was mentioned by a woman questioned separately in the case. So,
yeah,
so we'll, listen, who knows what's really going on out there? I guarantee you the truth is a lot stranger than what we really think.
Yes.
So that's the thing that you have to, and there's people saying that that's why you're seeing a whole bunch of weird suicides and stuff like that happening, but we don't know anything about that.
I heard about, speaking of suicides, Bourdain, Anthony Bourdain's girlfriend, who claimed that she was raped by Weinstein. I guess Bourdain was getting ready to, he was a real critic of Clinton and that whole bunch, and they were getting ready to out some people, and he ends up dead. So,
wow.
Yeah, I guess, it's kind of strange because he had everything going for him, I guess, at the point that he decided to kill himself, but because he got over heroin and all that stuff. And, but it just
I think we should do a section, Walter. We should do Walter's news from the Stargate.
Right. I didn't have to go to the Stargate to hear that one.
No, I know. I think there are things like that are floating around out there.
It just makes you think. I mean, I wasn't a big fan of Bourdain because he was such a big mouth leftist, but and I used to watch his show too, like I said, before he went that way. But you start thinking, it's like people tend to die when they start talking about certain people. The two-shot suicide is always,
Yeah, weird things happen. Happen. Okay, so you know what? We're approaching the 9 o'clock hour here, so let's wrap this up. Clover, what do you have going on? How can people follow you? How can people get a chance to look at that 24 karat AK-47 in full auto?
There you go. Best way is just jump over to clovertac.com, and then from there, whichever social media is your forte, is your passion, the links are there.
You really got one of those?
No.
Oh man, I should do one then.
He's a leprechaun. Of course he does. He's got a magical pot of gold.
It's from the pot of gold.
The problem is it's magical and only I can see it.
Oh,
yeah, exactly.
And I can't even go through the Stargate and see it then.
Right, exactly.
No, you're not short enough. I don't know.
Yeah, you couldn't make it through there.
Yeah.
Oh man, too much fun.
Yeah. So there you go. So yeah, you were saying, how can people link up with you and follow what you're up to?
Yeah, just clovertech.com. All the social media links are there. So on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, now GunTube. What is it? GunTube, GunStreamer, YouTube. All of those good ones. We're trying those out. Should have my whole library up on YouTube and YouTube and GunStreamer. I talked to them a few days ago about.
So how are those working out for you?
Yeah, how is that going?
You know, it's interesting. And it's just playing around at this point. Who knows how they'll go, right? But one of them is more video centric. So I put my videos up and they're like getting more views than YouTube, which is great, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't got a lot of channel subs on that one. And then the other one, and forgive me because I don't remember which is which, but then I put them up on the other one and they don't get as many views, but I get more channel subs on that.
Well, I guess you use them both then.
That's weird. So you use them for now? Yeah, use them both.
Yeah, use them both. Yeah, and then use YouTube like you can, like a Trojan, and and boom.
Yeah.
Well, live streaming and stuff like that. Neither one of those have live stream capability now.
Okay.
So
Okay.
you kind of got a YouTube. I do the 4 lives a week, so you kind of got to use a YouTube for that. Unfortunately.
Yeah, we're all spread out right now, but I hope that in time, a lot of this is going to get resolved.
Yeah.
So, Walter, what do you have going on? How can people follow you?
Instagram, Facebook. There's some Twitter posts though too. Usually it's the stuff they do on Instagram. What else? Follow me. Just pay attention to those things. I post stuff. I post pictures. If you got questions, you can always. If you really have a serious question, call me about gun stuff. Don't do the Facebook thing because I don't watch Facebook Messenger like a crazy person. But and don't get mad if I don't answer you 2 seconds after you post because I'm usually out in the shop building things.
Yeah, I did that earlier. You didn't answer. I went to Bud's Guns and bought it. So I'm
That's good. That's cool. And you did it. That's cool. That's no worries. As long as you bought something, right?
Yes, that's what
there
counts.
There you go. As long as you keep us gun manufacturers busy.
Well, I don't know about that one, but okay.
Okay. All right. Well, it sounded good anyways.
Yeah.
We're relatively busy, so we have plenty of work to do. Plus, we got new stuff coming out. So, just making the donuts, as I say, and I lost my welder today. She's changing jobs. So
Well, when did you put the 50 uppers on Instagram? Was that today or that was recent,
the 16 I test fired? I did that. I think I posted that this morning, but I test fired them last night before the show.
Okay, sweet.
Okay.
So,
yeah,
that's
cool. And so go ahead.
No, I was just saying those were cool.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Yeah. That's kind of my thing. We test fired 16 of them, and then I came in and took a shower, and I'm nationwide.
Yeah, absolutely. So, are you looking for a welder? Are you in the market for a new welder?
That's possibility.
Okay.
Yes. I'm going to probably step in for a while and do it because I used to do it all myself anyways. But for the time being, I'm not going crazy to find somebody, but I probably will eventually because I'll probably go crazy doing it.
Yeah. I mean, if we need to put it out there on the social medias.
Yeah. It's possible.
We'll do it. We'll put it out there.
And that's TIG welding too. So, we'll see. I don't want somebody. Please don't deluge me with I want to work for you quite yet. So
yeah, you got to have the TIG welding skills, which is
right.
definitely
And it's not an LJT kind of thing either when it comes to making guns. So we're not,
right.
Yeah,
and not on the job training thing for welding. So you got to be able to knock it out of the park right off the bat. So.
Okay, all
I
right.
can do that.
Yes.
No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, so on our end, you guys know to go to hankstrange.tv. Okay, that's how you can see all the stuff that we have going on. Andrew's Custom Leather is doing that giveaway. Look on our social media for it, and make sure you follow Andrew's Custom Leather on Facebook and Instagram. And then you obviously you have to be your email has to be in on hankstrange.tv. And let's see, what else do we have going on? Also, Andrew's Custom Leather has a new website on Squarespace. Lola, is there a link in the description for that yet? Okay, so we'll post some stuff up about that, but you can just search Andrew's Custom Leather, and I think it's Squarespace, and you will find it. So that's it. We will see you guys tomorrow. We're out of here. Thanks to Clover Tack and Walter from Safety Harbor Firearms coming on. There you go. We're out. Thanks to everyone that sponsors us. ATI Outdoors, Andrew's Custom Leather, Safety Harbor Firearms right there. And, of course, Big Daddy Guns. We're out of here. Peace. Bye-bye. We're out.